We're here to talk today about patience in our relationships. And we just want to remind you that we are a couple like any other couple, and we have our issues, and we're just working them through like everybody else.
And our goal and our intention is to invite other couples to pay attention to their relationships and learn to engage with one another with curiosity, with wonder, with compassion, so that you can replenish your relationships.
Right. So our title today is Patience. And what we know is that patience is, as they say, a virtue. And boy, is it ever a virtue in a relationship. It's so true. And what we really feel is that finding that way and understanding more about patience really does enrich our relationship.
One of the things that we have come to learn and understand is that if we can figure out how to communicate with one another about moments when we are feeling patient or impatient, then our partner is more likely to know what's going on with us. So what I mean by that is the idea of metacognition or meta-communication can serve your relationship. I am noticing that I am feeling really impatient right now is very different than moving right into expressing the impatience with frustration or irritation or criticism.
Right. And what we find is that, we are so different, and the two of us, like everyone's different, whether like I like to say in a poetic way, we are a fingerprint or we're a snowflake. And the fact is that each of us is different and we process differently. We actually are able to establish what our feelings are about things in a different way. And we also take time to actually work through our thought processes. And so it really is important that patience becomes part of this chemistry in which we actually develop our relationship.
We seem to have, we notice this on a daily basis, very different capacities for what might be talked about in terms of distress tolerance. So if I'm in a position of waiting to be seen, waiting to be understood, waiting to connect, waiting to do something, I'm there way ahead, and I tend to be the one who's waiting. And my tolerance for that waiting is very, very different than yours.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And, my tolerance is really in trying to find a way to work through my process and recognize that Anna is, a lot of times, she's much more reactive, and she's also waiting for me to actually say something. And I think to work through that internal process it's really important not to just go silent, but to actually let Anna or let your partner know that you are curious, that you're trying to work through some thoughts and some feelings. And also, you might want to gather more information. It's sort of like a little bit of a research experiment when you're actually trying to figure out what you want to say before you're ready to say it.
And so in that, if your partner is, and another piece of this that I'm going to bring in and then reference is speed of processing. So if you have a partner who processes really quickly and is already ahead of what's happening, and a partner who processes more slowly and assesses more contemplatively or differently at a different pace, also highly intelligent, very different paces, then being able to be kind and patient, which is what we're talking about, but kind and compassionate and soft around those differences will go a very long way. Mm-hmm. So when you say it's kind of an effort around curiosity, what's going on here, what's happening in me, what's happening in you, and you're processing that, mm-hmm. and you need some quiet time at times to figure out what you think and what you feel. Mm-hmm. Being able to say to me in turn, hey, I just need a moment. I need a little bit of time. I'm right here. I'm not leaving. I'm coming back. I'm just processing is incredibly inviting for me to just relax.
Yeah, I totally get that. And it's so often, I use that. We talked about last week, we talked about the word diet. And a lot of times I don't actually express myself, even in an intermediary step, to let Anna know that I'm thinking through things. I think the other aspect of this that we can expand on this is the whole sense of being mindful around it too. And for both partners, really having this sense of experiencing, what is going on at the moment, getting back to that idea of metacognition, is such an important component to this. And recognizing where you're both at and recognizing where you are as an individual is at as you're talking or self-talking, self-reflecting, that becomes very important.
So two things came up for me as I was listening to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
One was the lifelong practice of being mindful, that patience is a lifelong mindfulness practice. What is happening in me right now? How can I bring myself into more presence? Mm-hmm. That is something that you invite for both of us that I really appreciate. And while we talked about that I'm ahead of the game, that the person who is going to be more expressive and, more quick processing, it also requires, and more expressive around that, more externalized in my expression of what's going on for me. That also in turn requires you to be very patient with me as I'm at times over-expressing for your tolerance. So there are two sides to this. We invite you to visit our website at Replenish Relationships. We offer free 15-minute Zoom sessions to anyone who is curious about our workshops or retreats. We can meet one another and answer any questions you may have.
And we would love if you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content on how to create the relationship of your dreams.